Hello everyone. Today I would like to speak about the law of karma. The law of karma and how, for example, what does it mean when people say that karma hits them or karma finds them? What is karma? So I'd like to give a spiritual perspective, perhaps a perspective that is not the mainstream perspective. So first of all, according to the ancient knowledge and understanding, karma is the vessel of consciousness. It is true that consciousness holds all the waves, karmic waves, and karmic waves are those waves which push our consciousness outwards towards the projected reality. First of all, they do also create the projected reality. Second of all, they push our consciousness, individual consciousness, to attach or connect or feed the projected reality. So that's karma. The karma is these wave or undercurrents, as I call it, that keep on pushing us from the absorbed state, from the state of natural being into the state of copulation with the projected reality. Now, what is the law of karma? Is the law of karma something that someone created for our punishment or to cause us pain? It is not so, because karma is that which is already within you. So whatever you experience, first of all, is created because you got attracted to it. You have certain tendencies, obsessions, desires within yourself. So that's how you create your experience, because your consciousness registers only that experience or chooses to connect only to that experience, which somehow finds the vibration, the resonance, the connection within itself. So your mind doesn't even pay attention at certain things when it's not relevant for it. So our consciousness itself is very selective. So it chooses certain experiences, it chooses certain people, and gets attracted to it. It can get attracted to it in a negative or in a positive way. So it doesn't really matter. But karma itself is that process of consciousness going outwards. So and when it goes outwards, when it copulates with the projected reality, it drains itself. The karma itself, which means the movement within consciousness, drains our physical body. The more we drain our physical body, the shorter our lifespan becomes. And of course, it can be prolonged through our modern medicine and whatever not, but the natural lifespan is shortened then. It's because consciousness feeds with its energy the projected reality, the illusion, rather than its own vehicle. So if we want to reverse this process, we have to focus within and nurture our body, nurture our round mind consciousness, dissolve all these undercurrents and aspects within consciousness that create unnecessary movement and draining of energy or loss of energy. And so when people wonder how karma hits them or how karma finds them, it's because they have this sort of aftertaste from every situation, every relationship, every negative or positive situation. And how they have this aftertaste is because even though the situation is over, the relationship is over, or they're not in that situation at this point right now, their mind is still there. So that's how karmic experience is still present and still drains you. And so when people do something because they're hurt, because they're traumatized, so they have to express it somehow. So what they usually do is they traumatize and hurt people in the external reality, in the projected reality. And even though the act itself is not karma, but that internal movement within the consciousness is not only within the individual consciousness, but it's also within the collective. It creates a certain ripple effect. And so this energy which is released to the external world will have to find its way back. And so usually it finds its way back because it was just a release. It wasn't the dissolution of that current, which is the reason for that release. So the release itself, let's say they hurt someone externally, it doesn't solve the problem because the person who acts upon that current is unconscious or unaware, or aware to a limited degree, to a degree that they feel like they obsessively need to release their pain or hurt or trauma. And so the current within will keep on producing these situations until the person will get to the point where they can experience this hurt and this trauma on themselves. First, they will be releasing it to the external world, but eventually it will find their way to feel it on their own skin. And whether it happens in one life or in this lifetime or in whichever lifetime, it doesn't really matter, because it's some sort of a transmission, the energy that has been released into the space of the projected space of consciousness. And so because the vibration is still there, the frequency of that corruption is still there, so it will attract similar experience until that person perceives that pain, so that that pain can become the path of their liberation. And so the point of the law of karma, or the point of karma hitting someone, is not to punish anyone, but to help this corrupt being, this corrupt individual consciousness, and also within the context of the collective, to find its path to liberation, to learn through these reflections within the projected reality, to understand that the pain that has been released has to find its way back, so that one can consciously now look at it and understand its roots. And so until we understand the roots, we cannot heal, neither on the individual level nor on the collective level. And so it is not the law of punishment or a wheel of punishment, but it's more so the path to understand, or the law of understanding and learning of the movement of consciousness through the body, through the projected reality, and how this movement has the reason, and we are to look at the reason if we truly want to heal, transform, and evolve, because there is no other ways evolution and transformation if we cannot learn the path of pain, the path of trauma that indicates the limitation, the corruption, and the distortion within our individual and collective consciousness. And so until our body, which is the vessel of karma, perceives that limitation through itself, because it has senses it can feel, so it can understand through pain that this is the path of limitation, this is the path of trauma. And instead of releasing it towards the projected reality, towards the external world, we are to look within and to understand, dissolve, let go. And that's why the only way of letting go is kind of finding peace with the experience. Letting go is also, or can also be seen as, ultimate forgiveness. Ultimate forgiveness is letting go. When you no longer register that experience, it no longer matters, and it no longer triggers the reaction, whether it's guilt, shame, or vengeance, or anything like that, or even pain or compassion or desire for something. There is simply no reaction. And so the way we know that the karma is neutralized is there is no movement in consciousness. There is no conscious response or emotional, traumatic, or whatever karmic response you may call it. So that's the point. And if we understand that, we start letting go of a lot of experiences and releasing our consciousness from this constant drainage. And this way we can learn to preserve our energy, to preserve our lifespan, and also kind of open a new door for conscious learning, for understanding our being, the reality, spirituality in a different context. Thank you very much. I hope it helped someone.